Hey guys, it's your bro, Mr. Luke Evan Brooks, and let's talk about it. If you're new to the channel, this is what we talk about: mental health. We talk about what's going on with the world. We also talk about motivation. And I know I'm late on my videos. Don't worry, I got a lot to talk about. So I know a lot of things has been going on with this whole situation with the attack in New Orleans and Nevada, with Las Vegas and the New York situation. And we gotta talk about the state of mind of people's health, because at the end of the day, it's not about, oh, this is, an attack against the country. We gotta look at the whole big picture. We gotta look at all the factors here, because I can literally go to Twitter, I can go to X or whatever, and every other video I'm seeing someone doing something to someone, either beating them up, hurting them, doing all type of violent stuff. You won't see that on TikTok. Man, that's the funny thing. TikTok won't show that stuff, but X, you got a green light to show anything you want to, right? And I think we've been numb as a society. We have truly been numb of violence, because we see it every day. We see it on TV, we see it on the movies, we hear about it. It's just, okay, it's just everyday usual. And I noticed something like this decades ago, right? Going to school, Columbine was the first thing that we heard about when I was in high school. And to me, that was odd, and everyone was kind of shocked, right? Because you don't hear about people attacking the schoolhouses, going out there blasting, things like that. Now it's like an everyday thing. And we kind of just go to the next thing. We kind of got that micro brain, as they say, where you hear something, or you got ADD or ADHD or whatever. You hear one thing, then you hear the next story, and you forget about what happened right there. And we got to stop that. We need to address what's really going on, because I'm gonna tell you, it's factors of stress. It's factors of people having lack of abundance in their life. There's factors that people really don't talk about like they should, because people think, oh, you weak, or you're stupid, or things like that. And it's not that. I'm living in another country right now. Someone asked me, someone was talking to me like, hey, I want to go to your country. And I told them why, what for? And so I'll just bring it up. I'm like, to me, I don't see myself going back to the country, like living there. I go visit family, I got family, right? But when I'm seeing people getting attacked randomly, things like that, it makes me want. Now, people say, well, that's not everywhere. Yeah, we could say that maybe 20 years ago, but it's popping up everywhere. You tell me. I know there's people who get axed out here, meaning that, they be unalive, but it's not every day. It's not every day. And y'all might say, well, that's not fair, Luke. You living in a country that's very small. That's true. But some factors are different here. First off, everyone doesn't have access to weapons, right? They don't have access, they don't allow that to happen. Where in our country, people feel like, okay, we have the right to bear arms. I understand that right to bear arms, but you gotta understand where that comes from. Back in those days, hey, I have the right to carry a weapon. But then everyone said, well, I want to carry a weapon too. Okay, but I want to get an assault rifle. I want to get all these different things that is going to go, attack someone. And people say, oh, it's for self-defense. It's like, well, what are you trying to do? Are you trying to kill an elephant? Are you trying to kill a lion or a tiger or something? You don't need all that. But, people say, you can't take it away from me. But you got to think about our society. People who talk like me don't get brought up to the front, right? It's if you saw me do something foolish out here, you saw me go do something ignorant, oh, that's the highlight right there, chasing the glamour or the glory or whatever you want to call it. And people want to lower their standards. We used to have class. Our country used to have some type of class. But when we get involved with issues like this and people don't want to address it, because some people making jokes, and that's the messed up part. People got unalive, right? And I pray for those families. because that is a very, very heinous thing to happen. But then you have people turn around and they say, oh, you know, it's a joke too soon. You don't joke about stuff like that. And that tells me, like, people are disconnected to their feelings. They say, well, if
I'm not quite sure how to help you with that.
You gotta excuse Alexa. You have to be able to sense what's going on, not just for you, but for others too. That's where the problem lies, because a lot of folks don't want to pay attention when someone's hurting. They're not gonna run out here with a flag like, hey, I'm hurting. You gotta tell the telltale signs. Like, if you look back at the guy in New Orleans, you know, he went through a divorce, having issues at home, you know, posting rampant stuff from what we hear, right? What we've been hearing. You know, all this crazy, you know, his money wasn't right. How many Americans are like that? How can we say, how many Americans have at least $1,000 put away in their savings account? I'll wait. Like, when people start getting stressed out, there are a few things they get stressed about. Relationships, money, career. Health, that's another one. You know, if you're stressed out, that's gonna affect your health. If you're having issues at home, trust me, I've been there. I had an ex that did me dirty to a point where I was like that, right? Not feeling well. Affected my job. You know, people messing with you at your job, that can affect you. Because, you know, a few years ago, a guy who was a news anchor, he literally unalived his ex-co-workers on live TV. He literally held the camera on Facebook Live and did his thing like it wasn't nothing. And, you know, that's been building. This stuff has been building, guys. And a lot of people, oh, mental health is not really needed. Mental health is needed. It needs to be helped all the way from the bottom going up, because we're living in a world right now where I know when people say we're too sensitive, but it's one thing too sensitive mean like, oh, you say bye to me the wrong way. Like, that's, okay, that's too sensitive. But when someone gets hurt, people are hurting, because I love New Orleans. New Orleans is where my heart is at, right? I go there all the time. It's not funny. It's not to a point where people need to sit here and joke. And you're sitting there laughing about it. You may want to go get checked out, because that's real. This is not like TV. This is not like WWE where you're watching, you're like, oh yeah, man, you know, they do got body slam, this and that. And people can't differentiate what's real and what's not. I promise you, if you go to X, like I say, and you go to videos, you'll start seeing all types of crazy stuff, because folks are just like, I'm just used to it. It reminds me of that movie of 28 Days Later, where they exposed the monkeys to rage. They was trying to cure it, but the way to cure it is to inflict the virus of rage into the monkeys. And monkeys were watching violence non-stop. So guess what happened when they let them out? They start attacking people, and it starts spreading. It starts spreading through London, okay? And it's one thing I would tell people: anger and fear are two elements that you do not want to have in 2025. And we got to address these things. We have to. So going on the next few videos that I will be talking about, we're going to talk about a lot of things. If you didn't see the last video that I had, because we talked about the pizza driver, check out that story over here. But I wanted to just drop in. I wanted to let you know that we're going to talk about this. We're going to get more in depth with it. Again, guys, my name is Mr. Luke Evan Brooks. I see you next time. Take care. Don't forget to subscribe.